Hello and welcome back to the channel. So today we will be doing yet another tutorial, but this time it will be in Aerofly. I have not flown in Aerofly for quite some time now, and I guess it's about time that I revisit it. To be honest, I've planned to do this video for a long time now. I actually wanted to make this video when this first released, the A320 Neo in Aerofly by the devs of EPAX. I don't really know how to pronounce the name. So yes, here we are at Changi International Airport in Singapore, and our flight today will be from here to Kuala Lumpur International Airport with the new and updated A320 of AirAsia. I will do a short review covering the 3D modeling, sounds, and physics, and I will give you a conclusion of what I think about this aircraft after landing in Kuala Lumpur. So yes, this video will be a review slash tutorial similar to what I've done to the 737. Go watch that video if you haven't. Anyways, so here it is. So, oh, the flags. To be honest, I've been doing liveries for aircrafts and I'm not sure if this is permitted, like the flag being flipped is it vertically or horizontally? But basically it's on the wrong side. The bulan and the bintang should be here, the stripes going like right here, so it's supposed to be inverted. But anyways, the modeling. So, well, what can I say? It's a A320 nose. They nailed it with the A320, like the CEO variant, so I'm guessing they just carried it over, because as far as I'm concerned, the only major differences between the CEO and the Neo are the engines, as in current engine option and new engine option. You even have the wingtip rakes here, which is, I think, is pretty accurate. I'm not an Airbus pilot, but this looks pretty spot on. They even picked up this line thing here. The livery is really good too. I like the texture of the engines though. They look really good from this distance. Don't get too close, guys. So the engines themselves look pretty good. Yeah, I just had to do it. Yeah, this will be the thumbnail, by the way. Not really. The wheels on the bus go. They are not a perfect circle, but given how a certain company also does it the same way for a very realistic looking simulator, I'm not complaining. Overall, I think the modeling is pretty good considering how, I mean, all things considered, if you buy the pack, like the aircraft bundle pack thing, it's cheaper than actually buying one aircraft for some simulators. I'm not going to say which one because I bought for some simulators, and let's not go there. Anyways, I think the 3D modeling is pretty good, and the livery itself is pretty crisp as well. Just look at that. Yeah, that's very good. Look, stand clear of hazard areas while engine is running, which we will not do in a moment. But yeah, this, I think, wow, look at the ground textures. I think this looks pretty good. So overall, I think the 3D modeling, the devs did a really good job again. It looks pretty damn good. And I guess that's it for the modeling for now. So let's hop into the cockpit and start our flight. Let's start our aircraft by looking up here and turning on batteries 1, 2, and immediately the plane comes alive. We do have extra power here, so set that to on, set this to arm, this to on, this to auto, and then turn on the crew supply and turn on the aiders 1, 2, and 3. Set this to the middle so that temperature is equal, or like just nice. Turn on the fuel pumps just like so, and ensure if there are any more white lights. And oh, my bad. So in case you guys are wondering on how to start the Airbus A320, that was basically it. And if you do want a more in-depth tutorial on how to do things, especially with the A320, the 737, and the A330, I've made videos for all of those aircraft, and you are more than welcome to go and watch them. I am sure, yeah, the IRS is aligning at the moment. So wait, did it just align? It just did, okay. Meh. Okay, so let's do some flight planning. So we'll go to the, this is not the MCDU, this is the MCDU. So the McDo. So so first we will be selecting the FMC right here. So again, same thing as my tutorial. We'll use the acronym of ISRIP, init A, flight plan, init A, flight plan, secondary flight plan, radio and nav, init B, and performance. So let's go to init. We are not going from the RKSI, we are from WSSS to WMKK. We're right here. Alternate we'll set to WMSA, because why not? Flight number, let's do AXM, as in AirAsia, Malaysia. We will set our cost index to 34. Oh, my bad, guys. Oh wait, it's the flight plan. So let's just do 320, why not? Boom. Cost index will be 34. And the cruising altitude will be 26,000 feet. So FL 260 dash and populate it, thank you. So in case if you're wondering where I get these values, I actually have SimBrief opened up right here on my table, which you cannot see, but I've created a flight plan, and yes, the altitude is 26,000 feet, FL 260, and the cost index CI 34 right there. So that is init A done. Let's go to F, flight plan. So departing from Singapore here, we will be taking the runway 02 center with a set of, no, it's not here. We'll just take this one, because in my flight plan it's the MAS B3A, which we do not have. We only have MAS 1A, so might as well. And then Masbo. Okay, so right here from Masbo we will be using Airways via A457. Oh well, that's not gonna work. Okay, so about Gupta is the two Gupta. Okay, interesting. So by now I'll just do this, and we'll do some routing here. Feet, that's nice. Landing at runway 32 right. I do want to land here though. Can I just land here? Yeah, I'll just land it to the left. And yeah, it's a bit bugged right now, the simulator. I'm not sure why, but it is what it is. So I'll take ILS to the left. And what am I supposed to do again? Go back. Oh yeah. And I will take, oh wow, I'll take Nipa, is it? No. Lapis kind of nice. Actually, we are doing the Gupta is not here. Sazri, nah. We'll take Nipa, we'll just take this one. Looks okay. So it'll just connect like that. Lapir. Boom. Why is there it's fine. So what about the fuel and weight? So yeah, this is the other thing that is updated. So our fuel is, block fuel should be, in SimBrief it's 4.5. I'll just do 5 in case we do need to do some stuff. I know we're gonna mess up some stuff here. And the payload will be 12,000 kilograms. So 12.5. Let's do 12.580. It's 590. Yeah, this is as close as I can get it. And start. There we go. Flight plan should be completed. Yeah, that's quite good. So erase the discontinuity here, and that's done. So I have done secondary flight plan. Oh, it functions, that's cool. Copy. What if I activate? Nothing happens. I think that's what you're supposed to do anyway. So secondary flight plan done. So the next one will be radio nav, just to check the frequencies. 22108.3. This will be, I believe, the runway that we're taking off from Singapore. And in it B, let's go here, and here's the performance. So in Aerofly, I believe you can just click on this. Yeah, fuel planning, boom, easy peasy. So that's done. Is this perform? This is in it B. So performance. Again, same thing. Wait, do we have any EF? No, we don't. So to calculate this, I'll just do that. I'll just click on it. No flex time. We do have flex time, and same thing. Just double click on these buttons here, and we do have our takeoff speeds. So V1 will be 130, 136 for VR, and 143 for V2. Transition altitude is 7,000 feet. That is when we will turn off the landing and taxi lights and disarm any anti-ice systems if we do have them turned on. And for the flaps, we will be deploying flaps 1 and trim of up 0.1, and we will set our throttles to 80% flex, but we won't do that. We'll do a Toga takeoff so that we can just squeeze every inch of power that we can get from the engines. So yes, that is basically MCDU done. Let's set up the mode control panel. I believe it's called, is it called that? Let's just call it the autopilot panel. So again, our cruising altitude will be 26,000 feet, like so, and I believe that's it. This is LNAV and VNAV. Should be that. Okay, not yet. So let's do, I believe the QNH is correct. We do have flight director 1 and 2, and I believe that's it. So let's turn on, oh, they don't have the WS prediction thing, I think. MXR all map. Yeah, I know what I'm doing, guys. We won't bother with these because it's fine. Anyways, let's go. Do this one. It doesn't. Anyways, that is basically the plane all set up. We can now start the APU. Master switch to on. Couple seconds and start. I believe in Aerofly it doesn't matter how long you wait, it's still the same. APU blade can also come on. So let's go outside and hear the APU start up. Okay, I'll be honest, I'm not sure how the APU of an A320 actually sounds like, but I think it's pretty good. Anyways, hey, wait, the flaps are already deployed. We don't want that. So disarm, chill bro, disarm. Okay, so now let us do, can we, yeah, like that. So let's start our pushback, which can be done by the magic of pressing Shift and P on the keyboard. Shift and P on the, there we go. That's our pushback truck, and I will be doing a really good job of doing the pushback. How do I access the camera again? Well, I told you guys I'm not good with the pushback. Anyways, to disarm the pushback truck, I believe it's also Shift P. And there we go. So set the parking brakes back to on so we don't move around while we finish setting up our aircraft. So with the APU turned on, we can now start the engines of the plane. Alright, so for the engine start, I will do this. First is to switch this to ignition, and we'll start number 2 first because I've set a camera there. So one now, so on and into the cabin view. Fair, every plane start in Aerofly is on the cabin, inside the cabin. I mean, has always been that quiet. So engines turned on, we can now turn off the APU bleeds and the APU itself, and the packs will now start. Oh, we forgot to set this to on, but I guess that's done. So to taxi, let's do to on, and no, is it taking off? Well, we'll do a short plane spotting for a while. It's going to take off, that's cool. But blocked by the KOTA 772. Yeah, we won't be able to see him. So now, let's go and do our flight control checks, which we can do right here. Functional, so down, up, full right, and full left. Rudder right, rudder full left. That's pretty good. So flaps are set to 1, just 1 right there. And this also to armed. The auto brakes can go to maximum, and the cabin, do these work? They do. So let's just do both. Should be an all button here if I'm not mistaken, but I could be wrong. So, and then set the takeoff config, TCAS to standby. Oh, I think you need to go through in here, right? I know it's here. There we go. TARNRA. Yes, I'm a genius. Okay, so let's go to the engines back here, so I can just monitor the engines. Can I? Yeah, let's just do that. So with that said and done, let's now start our pushback. Start our taxi. Parking brakes can come off, and we are already rolling by ourselves. I think I want to turn here instead. I don't want to go straight. I don't actually know the length of this runway and where it ends, so might as well just turn here before I cannot do that anymore. So slowing down right here. Oh, too much. I did manage to keep it under 30 knots for taxiing purposes. So let's go a bit more on the brakes. Very jumpy. And turn left. We will enter the runway. Some more. We'll set the taxi lights. We'll set the nose light to take off, landing lights to on, and runway can also turn on. Runway turn off. is on. Off is on. So right, left, clear. I want to do the static turn thing, so I'm not sure it's possible in Aerofly. Okay, and we can start our turn right here. Fully go, 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 go. Oh, too much. This is not the Concorde, but you know. We will do a static takeoff because I want to test the engines first, as in I want to test the engine sounds first, and then we will do a toga takeoff. So lining up onto the runway and stopping here. Setting the parking brakes to on, and let's go to go. So parking brakes are set, so that's 50%. Pretty good. Alright, now we will take off. So the procedure for Airbuses is you spool up the engines to this mark here, the 5, and then we will accelerate to our takeoff speed. So again, I think this is our theory. So parking brake still on. I will then disarm the parking brakes and we'll be on our way. So 50%. Oh, twitchy throttles here. Stable, parking brakes off, and full toga. Stick forward. .100 knots. Neutral. Oh, chill, chill, chill. Not there yet. Rotate. Slowly. Plane off the ground. Now can follow directors. Gear up. Flaps can retract. Oh wow, okay. Then lever to climb. Okay, my troll's a bit twitchy with the Airbuses, so climb, climb, just like that. And we will now hand fly the aircraft for a bit. Oh, there's some turbulence here. And we'll do some replays after this. So we have now reached our transition altitude, and I believe it just set it automatically. But if it didn't turn to standard, just pull, and it'll just turn to standard. So now we can clean up our aircraft by turning off the runway turn-off lights, the landing lights, and the taxi lights. And in case you did turn on the anti-ice system, just turn them back off. And that's it. So we can now enjoy our flight and climb up into the clouds. I forgot to mention this earlier on, but also disarm the speed brakes. Now at cruising altitude, we are rapidly approaching our top of the set, indicated by this white arrow here. So let's quickly adjust this to 3,000 feet, which will be our landing or target altitude. Why 3,000? Because it just works. Like most of the airports that I go to, in the sim at least, I always set to 3,000 feet, as it's a good enough altitude that I can either increase or decrease depending on the ILS requirements. So let's push this down to start the manage descent mode. So now the aircraft will descend according to the flight plan and hopefully according to schedule. So we have now approached basically the transition altitude for KLIA. So let's push back to standard, turn on the landing lights, which again has been turned on automatically for some reason. And actually we do need to go in here and activate the approach phase. Confirm, and this will be our landing speed. So 129 here, it's +5 from the final speed. So we will set the final speed to 129 and hand fly the plane down to the runway. Also, now might be a good time to make this to 230 first and turn on the landing systems here. I am a bit uncomfortable with how high we are at the moment, so I'm going to descend manually here. And to help the plane slow down even more, I'll do spoilers half. The plane should now be able to descend much quicker. Very close to Port Dickson now. As you can see, that's the Lexus Hibiscus. Pretty cool that they added that in the sim. Now waiting for the diamonds to show up. So again, a quick crash course to what the ILS is. To establish the ILS, there will be 2 diamonds, here and here. So the first one is for us to monitor this diamond here, the one on the bottom part of the flight display. So as it moves from left to right or right to left, whichever comes first, we'll set the autopilot, or we'll just press on the localizer button. Once the diamond here moves up to down or down to up, we will set it to approach button here, and we should be golden. So at the moment we do not have any diamonds, which is a bit concerning, but also let's slow down a bit more, a lot more actually, as we prepare to lower our flaps. We are very fast at the moment, and hopefully we can make it in time. And let's also set the parking brakes to low and medium for landing, and max is only for takeoff, for rejected takeoff purposes. Yep, that's it. So that's done, and We've reached this mark here, so we can now safely deploy flaps 1 and so on. Once your airspeed reaches this thing here, you can deploy more flaps to slow down the aircraft even further. So we'll slow down even more because our final landing speed will actually be 129, which is still quite some ways to go. Again, deploy flaps gradually from time to time according to the speed. We can also retract the speed brakes and arm them like so. I think I did something wrong here, I guess. We might even need to do a manual landing, so looking forward to that actually. Deploying last bit of flaps and then lowering down the landing gear like so. Okay, so we will actually do a manual landing here because we didn't establish any ILS. Double click that to disengage the alarms, and now I am hand flying the aircraft down towards the runway. Might be a good time to actually experiment with how the plane handles, and so far it handles just as other A320 in any other simulators would react. Like, there's a slight delay. Like right now I'm turning my side stick right, then it goes. Like, there's a slight delay. It's pretty nice. Oh, there it is. Now we have that. So okay, in this case I'll just point the nose downward in hopes to catch the glide slope here. So right now we're slightly below, and will be a good time to do that and approach. Now the plane would follow a specific glide path and hopefully line up the runway better than we could ever do. I mean, I can do it, but you know, we'll just let the plane handle itself first. Now is also a good time to set the go around altitude, which will be 5,000. I think that's like a common thing. Also, we do have a slight crosswind here, so this will be interesting. 1005. Now we can disengage again. Again, press twice to disengage the alarm. I will keep the auto throttle to on, and then once I reach 20 feet, like the callouts go to from 50, 40, 30, 20, I will idle the throttles. I will also flare the aircraft up, as in I will angle the nose upwards, and then hopefully butter this landing. Aiming for the white boxes there. Perfect. Idle throttle, flaring, and touchdown. Roll out, and reverse is full. Knots and 60, retracting reverses, and we can also do some the auto brakes because we do have quite a distance to cover before our exit at around that area. So we'll just roll out, and hopefully we can reach there in a good manner speed. So before reaching the gate, if you arrive at an airport where taxiing will be short, immediately turn on the APU. But because I am at Kuala Lumpur and it's quite a big airport, I will turn it on right now because yeah, I don't want to waste any fuel. So start, and we should be alright once we've reached the gates. Coming up to our gate now, we can just choose whichever we want because ATC didn't give us any parking assignments. So we'll choose this one so that the company, so that the passengers don't need to travel far distances just to get to their bags. So now let's just turn off the nose light as well. Approaching the taxi bay gate, slowing down, and I'll do this again. I want to get this done. Okay, and turn. Using my very good piloting skills, I will stop when the gate aligns with the door right about here. Okay, so now we have parked, set the parking brakes to on. Now the plane won't be moving around. Initialize wait, we just got here. So APU bleed can come on. We'll leave everything as it is. Seatbelts can come off, that can come off, turn off, just on that. Turn wing lights off, beacon to off, and strobes to, yeah, it can go to auto. So now let's just power off, and we are done with our flight. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to KLIA 2. So that is basically it for this video. So review wise, 3D modeling, the devs knocked it out of the park. The plane looks amazing as always, and it surprises me how good this sim runs. Like, it looks pretty good. It's not MSFS level, but it's also not terrible. Like, it's acceptable. The engine sounds do sound pretty good. For the APU, I'm not sure if it's accurate, but it doesn't sound like the Phoenix or the sound pack that I have for the Tolis A320 for X-Wing. Flight dynamics, I wouldn't say it's terrible, but I wouldn't say like it's good as well, because if my memory serves me right, I feel like the landing here and the one that I can do in X-Wing 12, they're sort of similar. And X-Wing, I've always seen that sim as the sim with really good physics. Okay, don't start any argument in the comment section, guys, but I do think so. And if X-Wing 12 was fluid, this one is a bit in the middle between MSFS and X-Plane. So yep, again, it's a casual simulator, but it's a very good one at that. So yeah, overall I like this plane. The developers did a great job with the plane. So that's all. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope that this has been helpful to anyone who's watching, and thank you. So like and subscribe, share the video to your family and friends, make sure your cat watches it too. That's it from me for now, and I will see you later. Thank you.